Bam. So, what did we do last time? Last time we finished the main base. We are making these miners. The miners. Small miners. Small digger ants. They are collecting the concrete we need for our mission. We're working on trying to get the creation of these monuments. All right, where do we want ours? Let's do the first monument. Wait, monuments do things? Let's see what they do. A sculpture that asks an impression of civilization, but the monument shows mastery over art of bridges. Let's plop this thing here. So, put one here. Cool. Not exactly sure what it does. So we got our first monument up, right? Now we were going to get the 50 to make another one, and we'll make a second monument over here. Which means we're going to need to get drones up and running. But I noticed something I probably should have noticed earlier. I don't want to upgrade fresh ants. I want to upgrade the ants when they expire, when they're about to expire. So, I need the small ants, which come from here. So, let's erase this. Put this guy back on here. Let's pause this so I can get this done. So we're going to need actually, we won't need a cascade. That's fine. We just need a timer gate. Or last time we end up unlocking the timer gates. I'm using the timer gates instead of just a counter gate, because when you have something in between two trails, like I'm going to have here to here, it doesn't count this what's on this trail. Only counts the trail where the counter gate is on. So with the ants only living 5 minutes, I'm going to make it every 60 seconds. It opens the gate so a driller ant can be made, and the driller ant will come over here and work, collecting the rubble. A timer gate. We're going to go like this and go. And we're going to put an old gate or old line to here. And we'll do every 60 seconds. There we go. And you'll go. That's better. So now we're upgrading the small ants as they're about to pass away. So to get to other islands, because you can't share resources. See, I have like 387 screws, and if we jump over this island, 0 screws. You can't share resources. So that's why I'm heading towards where I'm thinking to get in these small bridges. Need these small bridges. All right. Which requires me to build 3 monuments on 3 different islands. I only have 2 right now, but that's why we're also going to be building the floral island scanner. So today we are going to try and we're going to set up a drone, the drones, so we can transport materials back and forth. We are going to build a monument over here and seeing about getting this built. Let's throw this. Can only be built on a desert island. Wow. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's great. That means I don't have to ship over the energy. That's cool. And actually, I probably have enough to build this thing. So, I guess we'll just slam it anywhere. It really doesn't matter. This game's really lenient about moving things around. If you want to move things, you can just hit there and hit this move key, and it'll move. So, first thing we need to do, build an assembler. We need the assembler to upgrade the normal workers to drones. So we'll do, nope, up one more. There we go. Now, if you come down here, you take a look, drone assemblers. To assemble drones, we need workers. We also need fabric. We were making fabric over here, which I actually turned off. Push the population up. But because our population is up to 100, it looks like we're about to hit stage 6. Hopefully it gives us another 25 ants. That'd be great. Let's turn this back on. So this is the line that comes down here. We have 1. Put a counter gate of 1. You were just stuck. All right. So we'll throw that one in there, and it will start grabbing the fiber we've been collecting over here and putting them into the workshop to create the fabric. All right. So this is going to need fabric, which means we need to go to the fabric stockpile, place a dispenser, and put the dispenser there. There we go. Cool. Now, just like we wanted to upgrade the small ants when they're on the verge of being old, we want to upgrade the worker ants when they're on the verge of old. So right now, what's going to happen? What happens is that all the old ants come and meet on here, and they come this way. They throw away anything they're carrying, just like that little ant. He's going to come over here. He's going to go and throw it away, and then get siphoned off. All right. So all other ants, other than the small ants come over here to get turned into worker ants. So small ants, big worker ants. All the worker ants follow this line to collect energy pods. But we actually have this. Now, what I want, how many do I need? All right, so we're going to go and see what their life expectancy is. So we're going to let one of these be made. This just comes out right on the main line, so it does the cycle right from the beginning. They live for 10 minutes. So let's say I want a drone. I want 5 drones. 5 drones just to go back and forth to carry miscellaneous stuff.
A lot of boring math later.
2 minutes is 120 seconds. We'll do every 110 seconds. So the first thing we're going to do, cascade. We're going to take cascade. We're going to come up like this and continue that back onto here. Then right here, we are going to, I know I don't need a cascade because like this, but I'm going to put a cascade just in case if any other ants come this way, and I don't want them to come this way. We are going to set a timer gate. Timer gate, boom. We're going to set it for 110 seconds. So once every 110 seconds, it will open and allow an ant to go all the way over there. So we'll go here to here. All right, cool. So one of these ants will go, and why didn't you go the, oh, I forgot to set it. I'm sorry. There we go. Done. The next one, here we go. Here's one. This one should go up, and then because it's open, go this way, which resets the timer. It'll come over here, cross on all this, go up there, and get turned into a drone. Now, what are we going to do with the drone? We're going to put the drone over here. So, we're going to null gate, and we're just going to plop that person way over here, like that. As it stands, all it's going to do is go here, fly over here, try to pick something up, but there's nothing here to pick up, and fly back. But we don't want that. What we need is materials to build this. We also need materials to build the monument. So to start with, we are going to send over 10 light bulbs. So to do that, all we're going to do is grab the light bulbs, place it dispenser, and we're just going to place it dispenser there. So now when this drone, yeah, super slow. We're going to modify this a little bit. We're going to move this to here. We're going to erase all this. We're going to go boom, 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 boom. And actually make this like that. Take this guy, move it here. Move this to there. Delete this. Move this to here. All right, there we go. A little bit of shorter route because they walk really slow, so the downtime, minimizing the downtime of them walking is probably the best thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 10 light bulbs over here, and then we need 25 wires. So what we're going to have to do is go here to the wire. We have 78, plenty. We're going to take this and just lay this here. There we go. We also need concrete, which is here. Yep. We're going to take a dispensary, go over here, and place that here too. Now, we have light bulbs. We have concrete. Now, the energy pods. What I was planning on doing with the energy pods is actually, that would probably be the best. So what we'll do is we'll move this down here. So what I'm going to do is going like this. Bring this down here like this. Set up a foraging like this. And then this to here. And then set up a storage like that. Because this usually spawns once every minute. So they just do a circle. And if there's energy, they'll pick it up and drop it. That way you don't have to go and collect it from over very far away. What we're going to do is add some more depots. We're going to add a depot here. We're going to say that is going to be light bulbs. Done. We're going to add another depot here. And say that's going to be copper wire. We also need one more, which is going to be the concrete. Come back down here just to see how this is doing. We have four people working. That was the plan. Do we have a fifth coming on the way? Yep, we have a fifth on the way. So the timing's doing pretty good. And there's another drone. So it's been about 2 minutes. That's good. And we are almost to 500 total fed energy. It looks like we might hit stage 6. That's awesome. We come down here. It's picking up a light bulb. It takes off. Flies across the big old canyon. It'll land right there. See, the guy picked up the energy. Now let's see how long it takes. Wow. So that energy is going to respawn. By the time it gets there, we're going to get 10 energy quick. So all the things automatically go over there. So when it drops a light bulb, it'll go and get placed over here. So when we accomplish that, I'm just going to stop light bulb from getting over there, because we don't really need it. I will leave the energy there just in case if we need it. I'll have the energy collection, and there it lands. And then it goes, picks up another light bulb, and flies over. Now, let's take a look. We got it stage 6. Increased, wow.
Jackpot.
Increased our population to 150. That's awesome. That is awesome. And because I set this up to have so many different jobs, most of them you put over here, which will make sure I don't run out of energy anytime soon. So that's the plan. So let's take a look over here, because this is the main thing right now, is to get this up and running. Let's change this setting just a little bit. Instead of 60 seconds, let's make it 50 seconds. So every 50 seconds. Some of them might be, you know, going in circles, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's take a look. So we make one larva a minute more than we did the last time, but we also get 150 ants. Awesome. I didn't like how I saw one of the worker ants dropping the larva off. In fact, let's have you pick that up and then come over here and go here. Have you pick that larva up. Now you pick that larva up, go over here and go there. And you go over here, grab that larva and go over here. I'm not going to keep them there. I just wanted to pick those larvae up. But because of that, I want to do this instead. I want to change the gate right here to there. I'm getting rid of this gate because this is after they pick up larvae. And as you could see before, they just throw the larva away, and that just seems like a waste to me. I just don't like it. So what we're going to do is from here, we're going to here and then up to here like that. So this should be after they drop a larva onto the incubators, and then they call it good. We should almost have enough light bulbs already over there. Nope. This will make 7, 8 light bulbs, 9 light bulbs. Looking good. I'll be back when this gets finished. So I end up running into a problem. I end up having to go and take care of something in the middle of the video when I did that last edit, and come to find out, I forgot to turn my mic back on. So this entire next section is going to be in a voiceover. I'll try to explain what was going on during the time. To the best of my abilities, I do apologize that it's not live on what was going to happen, what was going on. And back to the. So we end up finishing up the Floral Island scanner, and we're still collecting the concrete because we need to build a monument on that island at the same time. So we have the scanner. Looks awesome. It's a little dish. Looks like a mouse. I think it looks cool. So let's scan. Let's see what happens. Does a little scan. Nice. It's green. All right. So I was looking around the island to see what type of resources. It looks like we have copper, scrap, fiber, and a new resource. And to come find out, we have gold on the island in small amounts. It's just the scrap machines that you need mining will get it. Has a whole bunch of fiber everywhere. Also has trees that have rubble, which I thought was crazy. So we didn't have to mine it. We can just use plant cutting to undo it. It has some tier 2 energy pods, so it's not any upgraded energy pods if there was any. Modifying the digger drones to have a recycle, so it turns into more than 2 items. So when they go finish digging, they come drop their stuff, pick up some scrap from the previous recycled ant and places it into the stockpile, and then loops around and recycles itself. That way I'm getting some materials back instead of just them just passing out on the ground. And you pick it up, they drop one off. I thought it was going to be fine with that, but I end up modifying it to split off in like 4 different directions. And over here are for the drones. The drones come down and get recycled. And the cool thing is that it seems like a guarantee to get some fabric back. And I was sitting there thinking, if I'm getting fabric back for every single one, why don't I attach it to the assembler to get fabric, so I'm not not using up any of the fabric. I'm basically recycling the same fabric for the old drones. Trying to see what the you see the input and the output. I wasn't quite sure what it is. Still haven't figured out what it is. So my next project is making a landing over on the other island. And I have a big open area right there. So I was just like, this seems really good. So put a landing pad here. It doesn't need any resources. I draw my small loop. Put down a small stockpile because you need concrete to build the monument. We also need one for plates. For the launching pad requires 2 plates. So I have to lay down a launching pad, and the first 2 ants that come over there have to carry the 2 plates to build the launching pad so they're able to get back. I had so many screws, so I decided to turn that off. That way we can continue making more plates, because it seemed like we were kind of lacking on the plates, so I turned off the screws. That way I didn't have to worry about it. We had tons of screws, so it's not like we were short on them. Then I moved the plates down there so I can switch them over as soon as I build the... So yeah, as soon as that gets built, everything was ready to get put in place so we can knock out the third monument. There we go. The third monument's up and running, which means that we have to get ready to go to the next island. I have a little bit of surplus of the Mark II energy orbs. They're heading over to the new island to go build that one. I ended up building the new launch pad, but I didn't connect it to the landing pad over there. So now that we have that loop, they're just going to go in circles until we can get enough concrete to build the next landing, the next monument, which is the goal we were trying to get to unlock the small bridges. And I found out that these had new resources called resin. Wasn't quite sure what the resin is going to be used for, but this island has two new resources, gold and resin. Gonna build up a monument. In the meantime, I found that there is a stockpile gate which is connected to the other stockpiles. That's one way I can say, hey, I need more ants on this line. For instance, the driller ants. So I wanted to get those. So I ended up starting up the research to get it done. Kind of run low on Rebel. I end up increasing the number of ants to go over there to make sure that they're more uptime. Just a little bit. We have a way excess of energy pods. So I was going to use them to make tech points. That's what the big old blue glowing orbs over there are. It looks like we're stabilizing on our energy input. But this is a good enough population. We were stabilized around 137 ants. And just a little bit under the stage 7 benchmark. So it's a pretty good place to hold steady. Taking a look, we have 15 concrete in there. We need 35 left. Almost there. Last one. Done. With that, we are able to collect or finish the quest to unlock the ability to research small bridges. This is what I've been working towards the last 2 or 3 episodes. We have an ant launcher, which is really cool. It uses those diamonds. I have no clue where to get those yet. But basically, you shoot the ants across gaps. Now, the bridge takes 100 tech points to unlock it. So let's get some of the inventory ants up and running so we can get that done. Dropping the stockpile gate I installed down to 5 because we had less than 100. No one was going to go in there. So I dropped it down to 5 because I need the extra 55 points to try and get it done. So I'm modifying the gates to let people in to start doing a bit of research. And then I noticed, oh, well, it's not connected. So I'll run a line over so they can start upgrading. I go to kill, don't need any more drones as of now, so I stopped them from coming in. Then I realized I messed up. That was the digger ants and not the drones. So I refixed the gate and I turned that one off because I don't need any more drones. I don't have to worry about what happens to them because they'll auto recycle when it gets to the point. I take a look to see just how much energy I produced over there. I had 18 nodes. Saw if I could scan another island, which I couldn't. So I probably have to recycle that. Resetting up the paths to the desert. Don't want them to pick up anything, so moved it over. I'm just gonna let them go in circles until there aren't any more. So now I'm up to 141 ants, so almost 150 ants. So I finally have enough points. So I unlock bridges. I just want to see what these are, how they work. So I pushed the video a little bit longer than I wanted to, just to see what this is. It's been a workup. Takes concrete and copper wires, so I definitely have to have some ants over there collecting copper at the very least to bring it back to make the wires for these. And that's 10 per unit, and that's 1 unit. They get very expensive when they start going all the way out. So I tried to figure out how to use it. I know it's a small bridge, so I figured I'm like, hey, right here's not very far. And then I realized that's apparently really far, and that's about the length of it. I was like, oh, okay. Going from there to there. So I could go deep in there, so I'd have to make 2 bridges to get to the island, and then I could get a bridge up there. I just test to see if I could. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I tried to speed up the process. I didn't have enough copper, and I wanted to finish building the bridge to see what it is before I ended the video. And as I said before, I was just going to let the drones do its life cycle until it needs to be recycled. I found out that the recycler uses wires too. So I was just going to let this last one come over and get recycled. And then I was just going to recycle the recycler for the copper wire to finish up the project over there. I end up connecting that stockpile to the drone producer, so I shouldn't have to ever pull new fiber out. And then there we go. The bridge will be built. There we go. This is when I realized you'll have to build 2 bridges, because it's one path, one way. I was like, well, that kind of reeks. Like, that thing was really expensive for 1 bridge, and then I would have to build 2 bridges to go back and forth. I'm not sure if it was quite worth it. Haven't quite thought of a case study for it yet on purpose. I tried to see if I could change the flow, if it could go backwards, but it couldn't. Heading in a different direction, we'll see what the next quest is going to be next time. We have the floral thing up and running. We have a good foundation. We're getting a lot of ants. So, if you're liking the content, like, subscribe. Maybe, lay down a comment or 2 if you're enjoying the content, or if you have any suggestions. I hope you see you the next time. Later.